The Wolverine has been the mascot for the school of John Christian Earhart Memorial since 1985. The Wolverine has a reputation for ferocity and strength out of proportion to its size, which was why the coach of the 1985 Makkovik team suggested this mascot for our school. The kids would go to sports meets and the schools would all have mascots for cheers and shirts, etc., but our kids did not. I guess I felt they deserved better than that, so while we were still down at the old school, I made some suggestions. One being a Wolverine, an animal that is rare, kind of cool looking, to me anyway, I hope for others too, and best of all, it was hugely powerful and capable for its size. The kids seemed to be intimidated when they had to compete against the larger schools, and I wanted that to stop, so the animal seemed appropriate and it certainly seemed to be effective, says Mr. Blair. The students of our school have become athletes through the attendance of the fall and winter sports meets. The fall meet consists of cross-country running, indoor volleyball, table tennis, archery, and native games. The winter meet consists of cross-country skiing, badminton, floor hockey, outdoor soccer, snowshoeing, and native games. The fall meet is a qualification tournament for our district to see who will represent the North Coast at the regional event for running, volleyball, and table tennis. The winter meet is a qualification for our region for floor hockey and badminton. The winner of these events get to travel to the regionals to play for the opportunity to represent the Labrador region at provincials. The Makkovik Wolverines have won a few provincial events, having the rights to brag of being the best in Newfoundland and Labrador of our school size. In the 90s, the girls volleyball team won provincial volleyball 3 years in a row, which was the first team from the North Coast to win a provincial event. Being a Wolverine takes a lot of dedication and hard work. Not only do you have to give 110% in the gym, but you have to be a good influence on other students and try your absolute best in school. The Wolverines have to overcome many obstacles to pull a team together. In the early days of sports meet, there wasn't a gym to practice in. Volleyball games would often take place outside, having to use a rubber ball because it would often get wet, and then having to shovel snow off the court when training in late fall days. And a problem these days is our small population. Being one of the small schools on the coast, it isn't easy to pull a team together that would be a good competition to the bigger schools. This past year, JCEM only had 11 high school students and somehow managed to be the overall winners of both the fall sports meet and winter sports meet. This is possible because our coach never lets us any slack when it comes to training. The first coach of the Wolverines was Mr. Ron Blair. Mr. Blair coached a few people that the kids look up to today, like Travis Dyson, Trent Pottle, and more. Mr. Blair coached a team that won 3 consecutive volleyball provincials, and his team one year won all 6 SSNL sports meet events, but the list goes on. There were expectations that all were aware of, and they had to be fulfilled out of respect for the school, community, staff, and most importantly, teammates, says Mr. Blair. The Mr. Blair of this generation has become Mr. Travis Dyson. Trav was one of Mr. Blair's athletes, and I'm going to guess his coaching skills and enthusiasm for practice rubbed off on Trav. Trav started volunteering to coach in 2001, mainly volleyball and running. He has coached many winning teams, including boys volleyball provincial champions 2005-2006, girls volleyball provincial champions 2007-2008, and girls volleyball provincial champions 2012-2013, just to name a few. Trav continues to volunteer with the Wolverines and be a role model to many of the young developing athletes. What does it take to be a Wolverine? It takes dedication and hard work. It takes 7 a.m. mornings for a 3K run. It takes positivity to get beat year after year but always come back stronger. It takes teamwork to tutor teammates after school while they help you with your serve. It takes a true passion for sports and the community of Makkovik. I had always hoped that a Wolverine would be someone who was sportsmanlike, worked harder than most, was eager and willing to learn and succeed, cared about others, not just themselves, was a good positive role model and an influence on others, young or old, someone who could handle the good and the bad and use the life lessons they learned from sports and other school activities in their lives to be productive citizens in whatever community they would later find themselves in, someone who was proud of who they were and where they were from.